much anticipated pop star Michael Jackson's biopic Michael premiered in Los Angeles on Monday night, and the first reactions from critics haven't been great. Hello and welcome to The Print. I'm Triya Gulati and you're watching our entertainment wrap off script. If there is one film, apart from The Devil Wears Prada, the internet cannot stop talking about, it's Michael, the first installment of the two-part biopic on Michael Jackson. The film is set to release globally on April 24. The part 1, which runs a little over 2 hours, does spotlight the key highs and lows in chronicling Jackson's 60s journey from Gary, Indiana and to Los Angeles and beyond. Directed by Antoine Fuqua, Michael stars Jackson's nephew, Jaafar Jackson. The film had its world premiere in Berlin on April 10 and then it opened to a disappointing 27% Rotten Tomatoes rating. And that went up to 35% on Wednesday based on 95 reviews. Though there was too much buzz around the project, as it was the first authorized biopic where a family member is only stepping into Jackson's shoes, the film has opened to largely negative reactions. Critics too have been far from kind towards Michael. While expectations for a hard-hitting portrayal were already tempered due to involvement of Jackson's inner circle, critics still found the final result surprisingly underwhelming. The BBC dismissed it as a really bad film. In their review, they wrote, "It's a bland and barely competent daytime TV movie." Tribune News Service, meanwhile, acknowledged that the music is great and that Jaafar shows clear star potential, but it quickly added that the film remains uncomfortably problematic in ways that are difficult to ignore. Meanwhile, The Guardian criticized the film for its lack of depth, calling it a frustratingly shallow, inert picture. Now, Michael traces the pop star's journey, who died in 2009 at the age of 50, from his early days at Motown with his brothers to his meteoric rise as a solo superstar. Backed by Lionsgate, the project has secured rights to Jackson's music. The biopic is produced by Graham King, best known for his 4-time Oscar-winning Bohemian Rhapsody, which chronicled the life of Freddie Mercury. Bohemian Rhapsody went on to do a business of over 900 million globally, so naturally, the expectations from his next big project, that's Michael, were common. Though early reviews aren't ideal, Jaafar has been receiving applause for his performance. Jaafar Jackson has quickly become one of the most talked about new faces in Hollywood, not because of his lengthy filmography, but because of the huge legacy he's stepping into. So who is Jaafar Jackson? Jaafar is the son of Jermaine Jackson, MJ's older brother. He grew up in a world of music, filmfare and global fame, which were constant in his growing up years. Jaafar's early public appearance was on the reality series The Jacksons Next Generation, released in 2015, following which he released his debut single Got Me Singing in 2019. But apart from a few singles over the years, Jaafar's career remained relatively low-key until he was cast to play his paternal uncle. Ever since Michael was announced, Jaafar has been a permanent fixture in headlines and on social media. Now, a common question circulating on the internet is, why Jaafar? At first, the obvious answer is lineage, but reducing the casting to that wouldn't be right. Jaafar also brings an uncanny physical resemblance to his uncle, one that extends beyond facial features into posture, movement and performance style. His background as a singer and dancer also played a crucial role in him landing this film. Now, biopics live and die by their central performances. In recent years, portrayals like Rami Malek's Freddie Mercury in Bohemian Rhapsody and Austin Butler's Elvis have shown how transformative these roles can be for both the actor and the audience. But for Jaafar, the stakes may be even higher. He isn't just playing a global icon. He is portraying a family member whose life continues to evoke admiration, debate and controversy in equal parts. Another possible reason for casting Jaafar to play his uncle is that the film is closely tied to the Jackson estate, and casting a family member ensures a degree of trust and alignment in how the story is told. For a star like MJ, who remains as complex and debated as ever, control over the storytelling is of utmost importance. Notably, MJ's mother, Katherine Jackson, had given the seal of approval to the casting when it was announced in 2023. His daughter Paris Jackson, however, has been critical of the film, saying that she wasn't involved and that it has some inaccuracies. This biopic brings multiple members of MJ's family to the big screen. However, the internet and early reviewers were upset with MJ's sister Janet Jackson's absence. Latoya, who attended Michael's Monday premiere in LA, revealed that Janet was asked to be part of the project, but she kindly declined. Now, even though Katherine Jackson was deeply involved with the biopic, it still ran into trouble before its release. The film's principal photography wrapped up in May 2024, but in the months that followed, the film underwent a major overhaul. Its entire third act was rewritten, ultimately removing any reference to the child molestation allegations that shadowed the final decade of Jackson's career. According to the production, this omission stemmed from an oversight by the legal team representing the Jackson estate. What followed was a costly and complex course correction. The film's final act was reworked, requiring 22 days of additional shooting and adding an estimated 10 to 15 million to the budget. The release date was also pushed multiple times before settling on April 24. Now, earlier versions of the film reportedly included sequences depicting investigators searching Neverland Ranch, as well as a third act focused heavily on the allegations and their impact. However, these elements were removed after it was discovered that a prior legal settlement involving accuser Jordan Chandler prohibited any depiction or mention of him. This large state revelation forced filmmakers to rethink the ending entirely. Now, in its revised form, Michael concludes on a very different note. Instead of focusing on controversy, the film ends during Jackson's bad tour, portraying him at the height of his global fame. The narrative leans heavily into his music and performance legacy while steering away from the most contentious aspects of his personal life. The film also touches on key moments such as Jackson's recovery from the severe burns he suffered during the 1984 Pepsi commercial accident and his subsequent reliance on painkillers. While the film chooses to celebrate his artistry, it also reflects the ongoing tension between MJ's cultural impact and the controversies that continue to surround his life. If Michael succeeds, it won't just reintroduce the king of pop to a new generation, but will also cement Jaafar's presence as an actor. But if it doesn't, the attempt itself will be relegated as one of the boldest and nepotistic casting decisions in recent history. Thank you for watching and follow for more.